Give you a bit of an update on where I am with my King Keg. So I have been brewing now the Root Citrus 6, and it's about to be ready to be kegged off. So I need to actually now put it into something other than bottles because I've run out of bottles, so I'm going to have to go back to one of my King Kegs. So here's my King Keg. King Keg here. Now it's got a bit of a modification to it. The modification is that I've got a little valve on the top here. You can just about see it, and I'll show you a little bit more detail. So it's a Schrader valve type of connector. So just take the cap off so you can see that there. You can see the Schrader valve, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the inside of it as well. I bought several of these. And the intention is to put some more on the other lid. So here's the valve itself here, and you can see it's quite easy to do. It's got a little washer on it. You can take the cap off. So take it off. So the screw, there's a washer, and then there's the seal on the end of it, and essentially just drilled through the lid and then fitted this through. So put that bit in like that, so let's see, and I fitted that through, obviously this through this side here, so it comes up through here. The reason being is if I go back to my King Keg, here's my King Keg, you'll notice that there's a little mark here. So I did a water pressure test on it, and what I did is I filled it all the way up to the top here with water, and put a load of soap around this area, which is what I thought was the problem, and also around the lid, as well as the this area around here as well. And rather than waste CO2, what I thought I would do was actually put the Schrader valve in and then just use a foot pump to actually pump up the pressure in the King Keg itself. So what I'll do is I will now use my iPhone, and I'll show you how I had to fix the King Keg itself, and hopefully that fix is now going to be reasonable for me to actually put some beer into it later on. So let me stop this, and so now you're looking at the inside of the King Keg, and what I tried to do was seal the crack in the King Keg with a soldering iron, and then what I did is I then used some epoxy resin, which is here, araldite epoxy resin, and I just basically left the keg on the side to actually seal it off. So you can just about see what I had to do, and the area of the repair itself. So now you've seen the fix on the actual King Keg itself. By pressurizing it with the Schrader valve and a foot pump and some water inside it, I could then verify that I could get it up to around about 10 psi to actually sort of test it out. So about a bar of pressure, just to make sure that it was all working, and it held that bar of pressure for overnight, so I was happy with that. So now what I'm going to do is show you something else that I've been working on. So to make that setup a little bit easier, I'm using a little valve here, which is, again, sort of looks like a essentially a bike pump valve. And now what I've got is some length of hose. The length of hose I'm going to use essentially to actually connect the bike pump through, and then I have, in case it doesn't work, a little Jubilee clip here as well. So just going to put this into some hot water. So I've got some boiling hot water here. So hoping that that's going to soften up the plastic a little bit. Sure you don't want to watch this. Been warming up in the hot water for a bit. Let's hope that that's a little bit softer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and basically place that into the tube. move that out of the way so that's hot water everywhere. And I think I'm pretty much done. So there is the tube there, and here's my Schrader valve, and what that will do is basically go into here, and that will then allow CO2 to come through into essentially the King Keg lid here. So that type of setup. So you saw it with some pressure under there, so let me just release some of the water out. You can see it's just pushing the water through. Proof in the pudding now. So this is the Root Citrus 6 down here in the keg. Pulled off a couple of pints on it. I may show you that in another video. And I've got a little pressure gauge here. This was bought from a service station many years ago. Tyre pressure testing. Now what I'm going to do is, with luck, take that off and show you. So I got about 8.5 psi on the barrel already. Pulled off a couple of pints, so obviously we lost a little bit, and it was down at 0 degrees last night, so it was cold. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of CO2 in it. Now I have changed the nozzle from last time. The last nozzle just leaked the CO2 straight through, so I'm hoping this one will actually seal off. It's got like a little pressure nipple inside it here, which I hope will then obviously go over the top of the Schrader valve. So I will shut off and connect it all. Right, just showed you that a second ago. I've now got CO2 pressure on it, so I'm now just going to put it over the top. Yep, and we're at 10 psi. So that put a bar of pressure onto my modification. And just to prove that it was working, there you go. And there's the CO2 cylinder as well, now with all the pressure released.